Are you over 60 and wondering why, despite eating healthy foods, you still feel sluggish, gain fat around your waist, or struggle to control your blood sugar? You are not alone. And the answer may lie in something deceptively simple, the kind of nuts you eat or avoid every day. Here is what is at stake. As we age, our metabolism becomes more fragile. Insulin sensitivity declines. Liver fat tends to accumulate, hormonal balance shifts, and oxidative stress and inflammation creep upward. These internal changes make it easier to gain weight, harder to lose fat, and more likely to progress toward diabetes, cardiovascular disease, or cognitive decline. In short, being over 60 is a vulnerable time, but it is also a window of opportunity because smart, targeted changes in your diet and lifestyle can reverse or slow many of those processes. Today's focus is one such smart change: nuts. Nuts are often hailed as superfoods, but in practice, not all nuts are created equal, especially for someone in their 60s or beyond. Some varieties may exacerbate hidden metabolic stress, while others can help restore insulin sensitivity, nourish your mitochondria, support hormonal balance, and combat inflammation. Here's what I will walk you through in this talk. 4 nuts you should never touch or at least avoid regularly after age 60, and 4 you must include. But I will not just list names. I will show you with physiology, research, and plain language analogies why these classifications matter. Then, I will give you exact protocols, serving sizes, frequency, pairing strategies, and even simple lifestyle tweaks to make your nut intake a tool, not a gamble. When this is done, you will come away with clarity. Which nuts are safe for your liver, your insulin, and your energy system? Which ones are more likely to contribute to hidden oxidative damage or metabolic stress? How to structure your nut intake so it supports fat burning, hormonal health, and brain vitality. A realistic plan you can start today. Inside your body, there is constant negotiation between hormones, insulin, glucagon, cortisol, between oxidation and repair, between mitochondria burning fuel and tissues storing fuel. When you choose the wrong nut, you load the system with more friction, more oxidation, more inflammatory burden, more lipid stress, and your fragile metabolic state reacts poorly. When you choose the right nut, you send building blocks to your mitochondria, your liver, your brain, and your hormonal system. So, if you are ready to treat nuts not as indiscriminate health foods, but as potent metabolic modulators, let us begin. If this is helpful so far, tap the like button below and subscribe. I post content like this every day. The supplements and references we discuss are tagged below the video. Next, I will give you 6 science-backed insights to frame our discussion so you always see why each nut makes the bad or good list, not just by opinion, but by metabolic logic. Let us begin with a nut that often appears on superfood lists. Yet for many people over 60, it quietly undermines metabolic health. The cashew. Cashews are creamy, delicious, and often used in plant-based recipes or healthy snack mixes. But here's what most people do not realize: cashews are not true nuts. They are seeds of the cashew apple and carry a unique nutritional burden that makes them a poor choice for older adults trying to stabilize weight, blood sugar, or inflammation. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Cashews are exceptionally high in carbohydrates for a nut. Nearly 10 grams of net carbs per small handful. That may not sound like much, but after 60, insulin sensitivity is reduced, and your pancreas does not respond as swiftly to glucose. This means the starch in cashews can push your insulin higher than you might expect, leading to midday fatigue, belly fat storage, and the slow erosion of metabolic flexibility. Now let us add another layer. Oxalates. Cashews contain a significant amount of these natural compounds, which can bind to calcium and form crystals in the kidneys. For someone in their 60s, where kidney filtration may already be slower, that can raise the risk of kidney stones or contribute to low-grade inflammation in the urinary tract. From a liver standpoint, cashews are heavy in omega-6 fatty acids, primarily linoleic acid. In moderate amounts, that is not harmful. But in excess, especially when these nuts are roasted in industrial seed oils, linoleic acid converts into arachidonic acid, which fuels inflammatory pathways. Over time, that creates a biochemical environment where the liver accumulates fat and the body struggles to regulate blood sugar effectively. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your metabolism as a fire. You want a clean, steady burn that turns food into energy efficiently. Cashews, because of their carbohydrate load and fragile oils, act like damp wood. They burn unevenly, creating smoke and residue. That smoke represents inflammation and oxidative stress inside your mitochondria. What the research shows is that diets high in omega-6 to omega-3 ratios, which cashews contribute to, are linked to greater insulin resistance, fatty liver, and vascular inflammation. A 2024 review in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry highlighted that excessive linoleic acid from nuts and seed oils disturbs cellular signaling and lipid metabolism in older adults, promoting metabolic syndrome. So what should you do instead? If you love the texture of cashews, replace them with macadamia nuts or walnuts, which provide stable monounsaturated and omega-3 fats. Keep your serving size to about one small handful, ideally paired with protein or fiber, like a few cucumber slices or a boiled egg. And always choose raw or lightly dry roasted options, never those roasted in vegetable oil. If this explanation is helpful so far, tap the like button below and consider subscribing. I post evidence-based content like this every day. The supplements and resources mentioned in this video are tagged below, and you can find them from trusted online stores. Next, let us talk about the second nut that may surprise you, a common snack nut that appears heart-healthy on the surface, but quietly disrupts your hormone balance and your liver's ability to burn fat efficiently. The next nut on our list might surprise you because it is often labeled as heart-healthy and packed with protein. I am talking about the peanut. Now, here is the truth. Despite being one of the most consumed nuts worldwide, peanuts are not true nuts. They are legumes, cousins of beans and lentils. And that single difference matters profoundly for your metabolism, liver, and hormonal balance, especially after the age of 60. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Peanuts contain a compound called aflatoxin, a toxic byproduct of certain molds that can grow during harvesting and storage. Studies published in the World Mycotoxin Journal and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that even low-level aflatoxin exposure stresses the liver, increases oxidative damage, and impairs detoxification enzymes. For someone over 60 whose liver function and glutathione production are already reduced, that extra burden can lead to chronic inflammation and sluggish fat metabolism. But that is not all. Peanuts are extremely high in omega-6 linoleic acid, similar to cashews, which promotes inflammatory pathways when not balanced by omega-3 fats. When you eat a diet heavy in omega-6 and light in omega-3, your cell membranes become more fragile, your insulin receptors less sensitive, and your overall inflammation higher. This makes it harder for your body to burn fat and regulate energy efficiently. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your liver as a busy airport, processing nutrients, hormones, and toxins every hour. Aflatoxin and excess omega-6 fats are like debris scattered across the runway. They make the airport less efficient, delay metabolism flights, and force the liver to work overtime. Peanuts also contain lectins and phytic acid, natural plant defense compounds that can irritate the gut lining and bind to important minerals such as magnesium, zinc, and for someone in their 60s who may already have mild nutrient absorption issues or digestive sensitivity, this combination can lead to bloating, mineral depletion, and even joint discomfort. One more crucial point. Many commercial peanut butters, even those labeled natural, are loaded with added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and salt. These create an inflammatory trifecta that spikes insulin, stiffens arteries, and promotes abdominal fat storage. Research from Nutrients 2023 has shown that high aflatoxin exposure and chronic intake of industrial peanut products are linked to higher markers of oxidative stress and systemic inflammation in older adults. That is the exact opposite of what you want when you are trying to preserve your energy, mental clarity, and healthy weight. So, what can you do instead? Replace peanuts with almonds or pistachios, which provides stable monounsaturated fats and antioxidants that nourish the liver and support heart health. If you crave a nut butter, choose almond butter or walnut butter, ideally organic, with no added oils or sugars. If you are finding this information valuable, tap the like button and subscribe. Each week, we dive deep into simple science-backed strategies to optimize your metabolism naturally. The supplements and foods we discuss are tagged with this video and can be found through trusted online sources. Next, we will move to the third nut that people over 60 should be very cautious with. It looks elegant. It is often found in luxury snack mixes, but it may silently sabotage your cholesterol, joint health, and energy system. The third nut on our avoid list is one that often gets praised for its delicate flavor and beautiful appearance, the Brazil nut. Many people see Brazil nuts as a rich source of selenium, an important antioxidant mineral. And while that is true, the problem is that the very same quality that makes them beneficial in small amounts can make them toxic if eaten regularly or in larger quantities, especially for those over 60. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Brazil nuts contain an extraordinarily high amount of selenium. One single Brazil nut can contain up to 90 micrograms of it, sometimes even more, depending on the soil in which it was grown. The recommended daily allowance for selenium is about 55 micrograms for adults. So if you eat 3 or 4 Brazil nuts per day, you may easily exceed safe upper limits, leading to a condition called selenosis, selenium toxicity. Selenium is necessary for antioxidant enzymes like glutathione peroxidase, which protect your cells from oxidative stress. However, when consumed in excess, selenium becomes pro-oxidative. It damages the very cells it is meant to protect. Symptoms can include fatigue, brain fog, brittle nails, hair loss, and in severe cases, liver and thyroid dysfunction. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of selenium as sunlight. A small amount keeps you healthy, supports growth, and lifts your mood. Too much of it, however, burns the skin. In the same way, a little selenium enhances your antioxidant system, but too much burns your mitochondria, the engines of your cells, creating oxidative chaos instead of protection. Another concern with Brazil nuts is their radium content. This naturally occurring radioactive element can accumulate in trace amounts in the nut due to deep root systems in radium-rich soil. While the levels are generally low, older adults with slower detoxification capacity may be more sensitive to cumulative exposure over time. Additionally, Brazil nuts are rich in omega-6 fatty acids and relatively low in omega-3. Combined with their calorie density, frequent consumption can contribute to a poor omega ratio, fostering chronic inflammation, the same internal process that accelerates arterial stiffness, insulin resistance, and cognitive decline. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Nutrition highlighted that while selenium intake supports thyroid and immune function, chronic overconsumption from concentrated sources like Brazil nuts increases oxidative stress markers and disrupts lipid metabolism in older adults. So, what should you do instead? Enjoy Brazil nuts as a supplement, not a snack. One nut, 2 or 3 times a week, is more than enough to meet your selenium needs safely. If you want daily antioxidants without risk, turn to walnuts, macadamias, or hazelnuts, which balance healthy fats and micronutrients without the toxicity risk. Remember, the goal after 60 is to maintain metabolic balance, not excess. Brazil nuts, despite their reputation, often tip that balance in the wrong direction when eaten casually. If this insight is helping you make sense of your nutrition, tap the like button below and subscribe. We dive into these hidden details every week to help you make food decisions that support your metabolism, hormones, and longevity naturally. Next, let us move to the fourth and final nut you should avoid after 60. It is a staple in many granola mixes and snack bars, but its nutrient profile makes it one of the most deceptive healthy nuts for older adults. The fourth nut on our never touch list is one most people never question, the pine nut. They are small, elegant, and often used in gourmet dishes like pesto or salads. Yet for many adults over 60, pine nuts can quietly cause metabolic instability, inflammation, and even a strange condition called pine mouth syndrome. Here's what is really going on inside your body. Pine nuts are rich in polyunsaturated fats, particularly omega-6 linoleic acid, and very low in omega-3 fats. That means their fat composition heavily skews toward inflammation. When this ratio becomes imbalanced, your body produces more inflammatory prostaglandins and cytokines, chemical messengers that tell your immune system to stay on alert. Over time, this low-grade inflammation interferes with insulin signaling, stiffens arteries, and accelerates fat storage, especially around the midsection. For someone in their 60s whose liver and hormonal balance are already more sensitive, that extra inflammatory burden can create fatigue, weight gain, and sluggish recovery after meals. But there is another hidden problem. Oxidation. Pine nut oils oxidize very quickly, especially when exposed to air or heat. Once oxidized, these oils produce lipid peroxides, compounds that damage mitochondrial membranes and disrupt cellular energy production. This is why some people develop pine mouth syndrome after eating certain batches of pine nuts, a temporary but unpleasant metallic taste that can last for days. That metallic taste is your body's signal that lipid oxidation has occurred and your system is reacting to it. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your mitochondria, the energy factories of your body, as small turbines. Clean fuel lets them spin freely, generating stable energy. Oxidized pine nut oils act like sand in those turbines. They cause friction, inefficiency, and eventually breakdown. In addition, pine nuts are calorie dense, over 200 calories per small handful, and often consumed mindlessly in salads or pesto sauces. The combination of high omega-6 fats, quick oxidation, and high caloric load can create a perfect storm for older adults trying to manage insulin, liver fat, and body weight. A 2023 study published in Nutrients highlighted that high intake of oxidized polyunsaturated fats increases markers of oxidative stress and endothelial dysfunction in older adults, contributing to both insulin resistance and arterial stiffness. Here is how to approach this practically. Avoid eating pine nuts regularly, especially roasted or exposed to air for long periods. If you enjoy pesto, make your own with walnuts or macadamia nuts instead. Both offer more stable fats and antioxidant benefits. Always store nuts in airtight containers away from light and heat to minimize oxidation. From a functional medicine perspective, pine nuts simply offer too little benefit for the metabolic risk they carry in older adults. If your goal is to maintain clean energy, protect your liver, and reduce inflammation, this is one nut best left off your plate. If this explanation is bringing you clarity about what is really happening inside your body, tap the like button below and subscribe. I post evidence-based insights like this every day. The supplements and products discussed are tagged with this video and available through trusted online stores. Now that we have covered the 4 worst nuts you should avoid after 60, it is time to switch gears and talk about the 4 best nuts you should make a regular part of your diet to support fat burning, stable blood sugar, and long-term brain and heart health. Now that we have cleared out the metabolic troublemakers, let us move to the good news. The nuts that help your body thrive after 60. The first nut you should make a regular part of your diet is the walnut. Walnuts are what I call a metabolic multi-tool. They support your heart, your brain, your liver, and even your gut microbiome all at once. What makes them so powerful is their unique combination of omega-3 fatty acids, polyphenols, and plant-based amino acids that together help reverse many of the silent drivers of aging. Here's what is really going on inside your body when you eat walnuts. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fat that helps reduce inflammation, improves endothelial function, and enhances insulin sensitivity. In other words, they calm down the biochemical noise that makes fat burning and energy regulation harder as you age. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition 2024 show that older adults who consume a small serving of walnuts daily improve their endothelial flexibility. That is, the ability of blood vessels to relax and deliver oxygen efficiently. This supports both heart and brain function. But the benefits go beyond the cardiovascular system. Walnuts also feed beneficial gut bacteria, particularly butyrate-producing species that lower inflammation and strengthen the intestinal lining. When your gut is healthy, your metabolism becomes more stable, your immune system calmer, and your brain more resilient against cognitive decline. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your metabolism as a network of communication lines, hormones, neurons, blood vessels, and enzymes, all sending messages to each other. When inflammation or oxidation disrupts those signals, it is like static on a radio. Walnuts act like a noise filter, clearing the static so those internal messages transmit clearly again. From a liver perspective, the polyphenols in walnuts, such as ellagic acid, activate antioxidant pathways through a mechanism called NRF2 signaling. This supports your body's own detoxification system, helping the liver neutralize toxins and burn fat more efficiently. In other words, walnuts train your body to clean itself better. A clinical trial from Nutrients in 2023 found that daily walnut consumption significantly reduced markers of oxidative stress and improved lipid metabolism in adults over 65, leading to lower triglycerides and better glucose control. Now, here's how to apply this practically. Eat about a small handful, roughly 1 ounce of raw or lightly toasted walnuts per day. Pair them with fiber-rich foods such as berries or leafy greens to stabilize blood sugar even further. Avoid candied or salted varieties, which can undo the benefits. Store them in the refrigerator to preserve their delicate omega-3 oils. For older adults, walnuts are one of the few foods that truly operate at multiple metabolic levels, protecting your arteries, stabilizing insulin, nourishing your gut, and sharpening brain function. If this has been helpful so far, tap the like button below and subscribe. I post content like this every day, helping you understand how food, metabolism, and longevity connect. The supplements and foods mentioned are tagged below this video for your convenience. Next, let us move to the second nut you must include after 60, one that is smooth, rich, and uniquely stabilizing for your hormones and energy. The second nut that deserves a permanent place in your kitchen if you are over 60 is the macadamia nut. Macadamias are often overlooked because they are considered indulgent or too high in fat. But the truth is that this is exactly what makes them a metabolic ally for people in their 60s and beyond. The key lies in the type of fat they contain, the same kind your heart, liver, and mitochondria love most. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you eat macadamia nuts. Unlike most nuts, macadamias are exceptionally rich in monounsaturated fats, specifically oleic acid and palmitoleic acid. These fats are extremely stable, meaning they resist oxidation and do not inflame your body the way polyunsaturated omega-6 fats do. That stability protects your cell membranes, lowers oxidative stress, and supports your body's ability to burn fat cleanly for energy. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your metabolism as an engine. When you fuel it with stable, clean-burning fat, like the kind found in macadamias, it runs smoothly, quietly, and efficiently. But when you fuel it with unstable fats, like those found in seed oils or certain roasted nuts, that engine sputters, producing internal smoke in the form of inflammation and free radicals. Research supports this. A 2024 study published in Lipids in Health and Disease found that adults who consumed macadamia nuts daily improved their HDL cholesterol, reduced triglycerides, and showed better insulin sensitivity compared to those who consumed nuts higher in omega-6 fats. The researchers concluded that macadamias function almost like a lipid therapy for older adults, helping restore metabolic balance. Macadamias also have a unique advantage for people over 60. They contain palmitoleic acid, sometimes called omega-7. This rare fatty acid helps regulate fat metabolism in the liver and muscle tissue. It signals your body to use fat as fuel rather than store it, and supports the production of adiponectin, a hormone that improves insulin sensitivity and helps prevent metabolic syndrome. From a hormonal perspective, macadamias help calm cortisol and stabilize blood sugar because they are very low in carbohydrates and gentle on the digestive system. They prevent the blood sugar fluctuations that lead to fatigue and sugar cravings. That makes them a perfect snack between meals or a bedtime option to stabilize nighttime blood sugar and support better sleep. A study in Frontiers in Nutrition 2023 observed that older adults who replaced refined carbohydrate snacks with macadamias experienced not only improved lipid profiles, but also lower inflammatory markers, including C-reactive protein. Here's how to apply this practically. Eat one small handful, about 10 to 12 nuts per day. Choose raw or dry roasted macadamias, never roasted in seed oils. Pair them with a small piece of dark chocolate or a cup of green tea to enhance antioxidant synergy. Store them in a cool, dark place to preserve their delicate oils. Macadamias provide a clean, slow-burning source of energy that keeps your brain sharp and your metabolism steady. They are one of the best foods to nourish longevity after 60. If you find this information valuable, tap the like button below and subscribe. I post evidence-based strategies daily to help you strengthen your metabolism naturally. The supplements and products discussed are tagged below this video for your convenience. Next, let us talk about the third nut you must include after 60, one that protects your heart, supports your brain, and improves your body's natural ability to regulate blood sugar. The third nut that belongs in every diet after 60 is the almond. Almonds are often described as simple, but they are one of the most physiologically intelligent foods you can eat. They nourish your metabolism at nearly every level: blood sugar, cholesterol, bone health, and even cognitive performance. What makes almonds stand out is their perfect balance of protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals that support the specific vulnerabilities of the aging body. Here is what is really going on inside your body when you eat almonds. Almonds are rich in monounsaturated fats, magnesium, and vitamin E, all of which directly support your cardiovascular and metabolic health. Magnesium in particular is one of the most important nutrients after 60. It helps regulate over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those responsible for insulin sensitivity, muscle function, and mitochondrial energy production. Unfortunately, many older adults are magnesium deficient due to years of poor absorption, medication use, or dietary imbalance. Almonds help replenish that deficiency naturally. When magnesium levels rise, insulin sensitivity improves, cortisol levels fall, and energy becomes more stable throughout the day. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your cells as locks, and insulin as the key that opens those locks to allow glucose in. Magnesium acts like the oil that keeps those locks from rusting. Without it, insulin cannot open the door efficiently, and glucose stays in your bloodstream, leading to fatigue and fat storage. Almonds help keep that system working smoothly. From a cardiovascular standpoint, the vitamin E in almonds acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting the delicate lining of your blood vessels from oxidative damage. This reduces arterial stiffness and improves circulation, crucial for maintaining heart and brain health as you age. Almonds also have a unique effect on appetite regulation. Studies in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition 2023 showed that older adults who consumed almonds as an afternoon snack experienced lower hunger hormones and improved glycemic control compared to those who ate carbohydrate-based snacks. In other words, almonds help you stay full, calm, and metabolically balanced between meals. But perhaps the most overlooked benefit of almonds is their effect on bone density. They contain calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, a mineral trio essential for maintaining strong bones and preventing age-related bone loss. Combined with weight-bearing exercise, almond consumption can help slow down bone thinning and preserve strength well into your 70s. Here is how to apply this practically. Eat about a small handful, 20 to 25 almonds per day. Choose raw or dry roasted, unsalted varieties. Soak them overnight and peel before eating to improve digestion and nutrient absorption. Pair them with a source of vitamin C, such as berries, to enhance antioxidant synergy. A 2024 meta-analysis in Nutrients concluded that regular almond consumption reduces total cholesterol, improves fasting insulin, and lowers oxidative stress markers in adults over 60, making them one of the most reliable foods for long-term metabolic resilience. Almonds are not just a snack. They are a metabolic stabilizer, a brain protector, and a cardiovascular repair tool in one small handful. If this content is bringing you clarity, tap the like button below and subscribe. I share simple, evidence-based insights every day to help you live stronger, longer, and healthier without medication. The supplements and foods we discuss are tagged below this video for your reference. Next, we will move to the fourth and final nut you must eat after 60, one that is often overlooked, but plays a remarkable role in stabilizing blood sugar, protecting the liver, and fueling clean energy production. The fourth nut that deserves a permanent place in your daily nutrition after 60 is the pistachio. Pistachios are not only delicious, they are one of nature's most metabolically intelligent nuts. Every handful is packed with nutrients that target the very problems that become more common as we age: sluggish metabolism, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and declining liver efficiency. Here is why pistachios stand out scientifically. Pistachios are one of the few nuts that contain significant levels of plant-based carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds protect the retina and improve visual function, a crucial benefit after 60 when age-related macular degeneration becomes a major risk. But their benefits go far beyond eye health. Both lutein and zeaxanthin are potent antioxidants that reduce systemic oxidative stress, helping stabilize metabolic processes throughout the body. From a metabolic standpoint, pistachios have a unique low glycemic impact. A 2024 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed pistachios daily experienced significant improvements in fasting, blood glucose, insulin sensitivity, and hepatic fat metabolism compared to those who ate refined carbohydrate snacks. In simple terms, pistachios help your body burn glucose more efficiently and prevent fat buildup in the liver, a cornerstone of healthy aging. What makes pistachios particularly powerful for older adults is their amino acid composition. They are rich in L-arginine, a precursor to nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your blood vessels relaxed and flexible. This means better circulation, improved oxygen delivery to muscles, and lower blood pressure. As nitric oxide production naturally declines with age, pistachios help replenish that function naturally, supporting both cardiovascular and sexual health. They also contain vitamin B6, which plays a key role in neurotransmitter balance. Stable B6 levels enhance mood regulation, reduce anxiety, and support restful sleep, all of which are critical for maintaining hormonal and metabolic balance after 60. A 2023 randomized trial from Nutrients showed that pistachio consumption for just 12 weeks improved HDL cholesterol, reduced triglycerides, and lowered inflammatory cytokines in adults over 65. That means pistachios do not just protect your heart, they calm your entire inflammatory system. Here is how to make pistachios work for you. Eat about 1 to 2 handfuls, 30 to 40 pistachios per day. Choose unsalted, dry roasted, or raw pistachios. Prefer those still in their shells. The act of shelling slows eating and helps with mindful portion control. Pair them with Greek yogurt, berries, or oatmeal for a balanced blood sugar-friendly snack. One of the most impressive findings from a 2024 Spanish cohort study showed that regular pistachio consumption was associated with a 30% lower risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in adults over 60. This is largely due to their unique combination of antioxidants, unsaturated fats, and fiber, which together help the liver burn fat efficiently rather than store it. To summarize, pistachios support healthy glucose metabolism, protect your heart and liver, reduce inflammation, and improve vision, all from a handful of vibrant green nuts. In just a moment, I will bring all of this together for you. We will summarize the key lessons, the worst nuts to avoid, the best nuts to embrace, and how to balance them intelligently for optimal longevity and metabolic strength. Let us bring everything together: the science, the practical steps, and the metabolic truth about nuts after 60. We began this journey by uncovering a powerful reality. Not every nut that looks healthy actually serves your metabolism well, especially as you age. Once you cross 60, your body's hormonal rhythms shift, your insulin sensitivity declines, your digestive enzymes slow down, and your liver becomes less efficient at processing fats. That means the very same handful of nuts that might benefit a 30-year-old could cause inflammation, belly fat, or blood sugar spikes in someone older. So, here is what we learned. The 4 worst nuts to avoid after 60. Number 1, cashews. High in oxalates and sugar, stressful for the kidneys and blood sugar. Number 2, peanuts, often mold contaminated and inflammatory, burdening the liver. Number 3, macadamia nuts. Although high in monounsaturated fats, their calorie density can easily lead to overconsumption and insulin resistance when metabolism is slower. Number 4, flavored or roasted nuts with added oils, especially those roasted in vegetable or seed oils, because those omega-6 fats drive inflammation and oxidative stress in aging tissues. In contrast, the 4 best nuts that truly support metabolic health after 60 are: number 1, walnuts, powerful for brain function, liver detoxification, and cardiovascular resilience. Number 2, almonds, help lower LDL cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar through magnesium and polyphenols. Number 3, Brazil nuts, provide selenium for thyroid balance and antioxidant defense. Number 4, pistachios, protect the liver, improve glucose metabolism, and boost nitric oxide for better circulation. Now, let us look at how to apply this knowledge practically. First, focus on diversity without excess. A daily rotation of 1 or 2 of the approved nuts, about a small handful, which is 20 to 25 grams, is enough to activate the nutrient pathways without overwhelming your calorie intake. Your goal is nutrient signaling, not calorie loading. Second, always eat nuts in their most natural state. Choose raw, sprouted, or lightly dry roasted nuts. Avoid those coated in oils, sugar, or salt. Remember, your liver at 60 plus works like an older engine. It needs clean fuel, not sludge. Third, pair your nuts wisely. Combine almonds with Greek yogurt or berries, walnuts with leafy greens or olive oil, and pistachios with oats or cottage cheese. This helps control insulin response and stabilizes energy throughout the day. Fourth, use nut timing strategically. Eat your nuts during mid-morning or mid-afternoon, not late at night. This allows the fats to be used as energy rather than stored, supporting fat metabolism and liver detoxification. Finally, treat your metabolism like a dialogue, not a machine. Every food you eat sends a signal. Walnuts signal your liver to burn fat. Almonds signal your pancreas to regulate insulin. Pistachios signal your blood vessels to relax and deliver oxygen. Every handful is a biochemical conversation. Here's what I want you to take away. Aging gracefully is not about restriction. It is about precision. You do not need to fear fats. You need to feed the right ones to the right systems at the right time. So, here is your next step. Try replacing your current nut habit with 1 serving of the 4 must-eat nuts over the next week. Pay attention to how your digestion feels, how your energy holds, and how your sleep changes. Your body will give you feedback, often within days. If you found this helpful, tap the hype button below and subscribe. I post science-backed content every day to help you optimize your metabolism, energy, and longevity naturally. The supplements we discussed in this video are tagged below. You can find them easily from trusted online stores. You are not powerless against aging. You are simply one informed choice away from changing your biology in your favor. So choose wisely, stay consistent, and remember, the smallest daily decision can transform your long-term health.